I'm live. Ha ha, boo boo. Man, it took this thing about 10 minutes to just rotating. Come on, man. What's up? Hey, Felicia, how you doing? I'm good. I know I ain't been on in a long time. I just had to get myself together. You know what I was going through. So um it's not easy. It's not easy at all. In fact, I definitely wanted to come on and talk a little bit today about, for lack of a better word, BS that I have heard from so many people, so many channels. It's a dizzying array of information being shared where there was a vacuum just a few years ago. And how do you tell the difference between something that's worth talking about and something that is for entertainment purposes only? How do you know when people from the continent are bringing you viable, um, valuable, helpful, informative information and data and just perspective versus some of the other stuff? How do you know the difference between just plain old, drama and, that thing we all go through when the camera turns on? I don't care. It's two things that happen, when the camera comes on. You know, one, the person capturing the picture can't capture um, as much with their camera as they can with their eye. And the person in front of the camera can also never show uh, as much as they are or as much as it is, uh, if you understand what I'm saying. So there's always some room for performance and um, even myself, if this was just a regular conversation with just me and, let's say, one of my friends, not you, Felicia, because you know I try not to curse that much when I talk to you. That was a joke. But let's just say even me, just trying to use standard English and not use a lot of expletives. That's really not my most natural way of talking. But I'm my authentic self. Just, it's a language issue. And I'm really, considerate of the fact that not everybody who can see through. Well, this house flat. As soon as I said I'm going live, he want to come in and get on the. See, that's what I'm saying. As soon as the camera come on, even the fly want to come in. And I ain't even seen this fly all day. Now he can't leave me alone. Oh, so yeah. The point is that um, there's always a degree of I don't want to say phoniness, but that's not the correct word. The correct word is I don't know, performance, when cameras are involved in anything. Um, I've refrained from taking online classes for the most part because I prefer to be in person. Not only does that transfer information in other methods, physically, extra physically. But it's an energy and a spirit also, with your teacher that can help you um, increase the depth of knowledge and understanding for that subject area. So cameras already is a challenge. Okay. Now, everybody with a YouTube account, anybody can get a YouTube account. Right. You know that as a photographer, it's always something going on, and you can always present things in just a certain way. And some of us spend a lot of time developing our pictures just to show a certain thing. That tells you right there that, it's a lot of manipulation going on. Now, manipulation usually has a bad connotation, but it doesn't necessarily have to. We just need to know how to filter and qualify the information, the data, and the media that we take in. So that's what I want to talk about. I've seen some real wow stuff out here lately, and I want to talk about it. I'm gonna come down because this whole situation is a little bit more. Okay, so number one, this is my, you want to know how I look at stuff when I see YouTube channels and information being shared about repatriation. If the person is harping on uh infrastructure complaints, first of all, they haven't been in the country long enough to really make a valid assessment, as far as I'm concerned. Because anybody who's been in Ghana over the last 10 or 20 years knows that is not what it was. Just like Rwanda is not what it was. Everything's changing. It's changing rapidly. There's no way you could drive down any street in Accra and see the amount of work and construction going on and then pop on YouTube. And the first three things you have to say is about how poor the infrastructure is in Ghana, as if Ghana is Accra and as if you don't see all this work going on over here. Or those people who've been coming here over years can testify that, there's been a lot of changes and there's a lot of changes happening right now. Um, I'm more interested to see is it black folks working on these infrastructure projects? What's the intelligence surrounding that? When most of the channels are not talking about anything qualitative on that level, they're making superficial assessments based on a short observation. And anybody who's well traveled will tell you you don't really know a place until you've stayed there for a year anyway. So it's kind of, do you really want to listen to that? It's up to you. The other thing about infrastructure that I find so curious is that for all the infrastructure that we've been accustomed to in the UK and in the US, what good is it doing us? Oh, wait. If anybody of the two people that's on here right now want to chime in, what good is it doing us? What are we doing with the infrastructure that's so tough that we get to come over here to Africa and go up and down like we got a little checklist and a white glove going over everything? What right do we have to do that? I mean, we have the right to do it, I guess. If we can do it, we got the right to do it. But the question is, how do you qualify uh, yourself listening to that type of information being shared when it's really superficial? It's not really, what's the point of that? I got infrastructure problems around my house right now we're dealing with. But what good does that do you as a person who's probably coming here as a tourist? Um, Not relevant. If you're interested in building here, then that's a conversation, an in-depth conversation. Perhaps you should be building a relationship with me or someone, that lives here, who can give you some of that backstory. Because just stand on the surface of it, we have all the infrastructure in the world, except for them raggedy ass pothole streets in Chicago. But um, in as far as being in the West, and we don't have anything to show for it. So I'm just, where's the high horse at? On what legs does the high horse stand in that conversation? So when people focus um, on that type of stuff, as far as the infrastructure here is not that good and all of that old mess, that's not, that's it just is garbage. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I hear the term eating off tourism and eating off of repatriates, and basically eating off our people coming over here. Oh my God. Felicia says she got potholes, flooded streets, deer, coyote, high crime, people dumping trash all over, power outages, the military base is always shutting down the internet and cell signals. So yeah, you used to dealing with that, and you fit right in over here. You know what I'm saying? Might even be an improvement on one of them two things. Cause trust me, if it's a deer around this boy, hey, that boy getting ate so fast. And the coyote too. Hey, they don't have wild animals around here. Cause if they wild, they get caught and roasted. Okay. I got some crazy videos and pictures about that. I don't even be sharing it because a lot of people just can't appreciate the finer points of getting there and living. You know what I'm saying? Uh, all they have is domesticated animals around these parts, babe. They got the occasional monitor lizard, girl. If you ever seen 6 or 7 grown men chasing a lizard down the street, like they life depend on the meal. Oh, hilarious. But yeah. So number 2, eating off tourism. I'm trying to stay on that on task because I don't want my computer cut off on me again. Um, Eating off tourism, eating off of selling information, repatriation information. My favorite saying, fair exchange ain't no robbery. And people need help getting here, and we need help to help them get here and be here for them when they get here. You know what I'm saying? I was saying, I wrote in my notes, look at my inbox. Is lined up with people coming to Ghana, for example, from all over the world, and they want to meet me, or they want me to help them with some aspect of their journey coming over here. Um, I mean, that's a lot to ask. I have a family. I can barely keep up with my own media production, and the information I'm supposed to be sharing, online for no charge, because I do have a family. I do have other stuff to do. I have actual businesses beyond my repat stuff, that take up a lot of my time and attention. So, yeah, you got to make that shit count. You got to make people's time count. Not only that, but how hard do we work to get acclimated to the environment, and how much support do people really need to get here and to stay here? The answer is a lot. What's up with these house flies? Oh my God. Y'all trying to really show out. Now it's 2. Where did it come from? Um, DB Ghana, tell me I'm lying about the flies, okay? And they hard headed too. Don't even bother bringing your raid. They do not respond to that at all. Yeah, but a lot of times that's based off of the fact that people who are saying that we're eating off of tourism and we're eating off of repats, they either don't live here or haven't spent enough time here. Because anybody knows that once you get to Africa and you try to post up for really 6 months or a year, I would say a year or more, the process that you have to go through mentally, physically, and everything else is daunting. That's why a lot of people don't end up just flipping around and going back, because it's daunting. The acclimation process, the cultural, reclamation, reformation, and touch ups, you know what I'm saying, that will occur in your mind and in your whole persona as you make this journey is is huge. So you need a lot of support. And frankly, every move we make here, it's got to count. It's got to count because you're not the only one. So, honestly, sometimes it's worth it to charge people just to weed out the serious people. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that you got time and attention for the serious people and no time and attention for the jokers. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find me a fan because this is not working. Okay? What is going on around here? Find me the fan. Fan, somebody help me. I can't find nothing to fan myself with. This is I gotta have a notebook or something. Look, I found a picture. Okay, I found some good old fashioned schoolwork. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sometimes, and then we get bombarded with the same questions over and over again. That's why I wrote that book, Beckoned, Ancestral Call, because all the repeated stuff is in there. I was hoping that the other repats start passing that boy around too, because, or maybe I should give y'all a copy or something. I don't know, use it because it takes a lot of pressure off me. Because if you're not serious enough to read the answers to your own questions, then you're not serious enough to take up my time. You know what I'm saying? So, poof, that part is done. Number three, if you hear people talking about tribalism, you already know that their political education is limited because tribes didn't even become like a word until white folks made it up. Okay. And I heard somebody from South Africa say that one day. Like, he was talking to some other South Africans about this whole xenophobic blow up that supposedly was going on there. And he was like, tell the truth. We ain't even had no tribes up until like 200 years ago. And I mean, basically, that's true of most of Africa. I mean, you had nations, you had groups, you had clans, you had families. Okay, but this tribe thing, please, you can throw that word out there. If you even using that word, that also tells me you're not reading none of your Nkrumah, you're not reading none of your Sekou Touré, you're not reading none of your you know, job. You're not reading Runako Rashidi. You're not really apprised on what you're even talking about if you're even using the terminology tribe to describe these different groups of Africans over in Africa. Um, and quite frankly, you know, our children in a lot of the cities in America, when you talk about tribalism, people getting shot because they live at a different set, aka a different block than somebody else. Um, we let the capitalists overtake all our creative output for the most part in America and use it to create these rap beefs that end up with our children getting murdered and somebody else getting incarcerated at the same time. And then we want to come over to Africa and think and snicker about this so-called tribalism. It's a lot. Now, it's not to say that, oh yeah, hit the like button. If you on listening right now, why not? You know what I'm saying? Make it pop. You know what I mean? Let's make it worth my while because I'm about to talk some real serious stuff today. You know, people don't want that. But a lot of people just want foolishness, gossip, you know, drama, whatever. None of that is here. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're into, you ain't gotta hit the like button. You just go on to another channel because this is not what it is. This is real talk here. And not no real as in, you know, trying to act a fool and make excuses for it and all of that, or with this truth that insults people and unnecessarily. We're not even talking about that. It's balanced. I'm respectful. But I'm telling you how TI is. You know what I'm saying? Tribalism is foolishness. You know, um, and we got a lot of problems coming from UK and America related to how we relate to each other for us to pass judgment on what the Ga are saying about the airways and what the Ashanti are saying about the Fanti. You know, we really don't have a leg to stand on as far as that's concerned. Period. Now I hope I beat that down, you know what I'm saying, with a little hammer. Number four, ain't no group of people did us more dirty than the Western Eurasians. And I have yet to see one expat or repat video talking about how dirty Paris is or why do they have shanty towns there or in France. I have yet to see one live video about the tent towns or the filth that covers the black areas of Chicago or New York for that matter, or the poor areas of New York. I have yet to see anybody, you know what I'm saying? So you quick to say, well, we're not telling the truth about in Africa, okay? But no one is dealing with the elephant in the room, which is the fact that a lot of us are coming from cities that are, you know, they're jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Super jacked up. So you again, if you're coming with that type of conversation, you don't have a leg to stand on. I've been to France. It's filthy. Paris is filthy. Okay. And just like Paris is filthy, you step outside towards the Mediterranean part where the Mediterranean, France sits on part of the Mediterranean Sea. It's clean and it's beautiful. Okay. But how many videos do you see where people delineate the fact that, yes, across a huge, sprawling, unplanned, basically, what I'm saying, city struggling to maintain, its sanitation compared to going to Kumasi or Tamale or some of these other cities, which are absolutely clean and beautiful and smell very good, and the air is nice. You don't hear, you don't even hear that comparison going on. So automatically that tells you that this is a little skewed, because you flew through um, London or you flew through Paris and you walked right over the field to come to Africa and talk about, what I'm saying, what's going on here. I'm not saying that, there's not some sanitation challenges here in Ghana. Everybody who lives here knows that. And that's something that almost everybody is working on. They even have certain days where everybody's supposed to go out and clean up. I mean, this is all kinds of stuff going on here. Again, if you're going to talk about it, present it in a balanced way. It's not to say you can't say that there are some open gutters in Ghana, but isn't it also fair to say that every paved road that's been built in the last 2 or 3 or 5 years has included a closed gutter? Is it fair to say that as well? Is it fair to say that the open gutter was a holdover from the shit that the colonials left and built in this country because they was rushing and just trying to move money out of here, move wealth up out of the country, so they weren't concerned with how they built the sanitation structure when they built it. So present the whole view. If you're listening to somebody on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever, YouTube, and they're giving you this one-sided bullshit story, man, forget about it. You know what I'm saying? You can listen to it, but know the difference between entertainment purposes only and some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Africa ain't for everybody and everybody ain't for Africa. I'm so sick of these people talking crazy with these unbalanced opinions for likes. Yes, me too. Me too, my sister. Me too. You know what I'm saying? As I'm seeing you fight with a damn housefly. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's flies in Africa. Okay. What the hell? That ain't nothing to talk about. Damn. Okay. Um, Number 5. We send money to China. We send money all over Europe. We send money all over this world. Okay. And it goes towards doing business and whatever else we got going on. And it's no problem, it's no question, regardless of how much fraud is going on in these countries. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot, way more than what you find in Nigeria and Ghana put together. But still, you have people saying, don't send money to Africa. How? What kind of development you gonna do if you live somewhere else and you want to do a project or some business over here, but you can't seem to find a way to send no money over here? When you hear people saying that and advising you that don't send no money to Africa, stop that. Stop that. Just completely stop that. You know what I'm saying? Completely stop that. Honestly, if I didn't send money to Africa, and if money from here wasn't coming to me, I wouldn't be able to come here. I had to find a method and people that I could trust, and a method that we all could use to push money back and forth, because that's what we had to do along my journey. So I would never tell you don't send no money to Africa. I would try to help you maybe vet it again. That's why I put referrals, because I'm inviting all the repats. Let's go on the record. If you know businesses and people that you trust, stand for them, talk about them, share their contacts. If possible, let's compile them in a volume, in an ebook or something, and let that information be available for people so that they can know, yeah, it's some real people over here doing real work. We move money back and forth all the time, all the time. And we have to if we want to move forward. And then even as far as thinking towards the future, how are we to create intra-African trade on any serious level if we're sitting here telling each other don't send money to each other? Nah, that can't work. What we need to find out is who to send money to. And that's how we're having this conversation now. So you can kind of listen to what people's angles are and what their slants are and know what you're really dealing with. You got to have a system to evaluate stuff. And a lot of this stuff is just simply listening, looking, and really putting your concentration on paying attention to what people are saying and the energy and the vibe that they're bringing. Yeah. Yeah. We on constant debunk. I have not been on live in weeks. Every time I thought about it, I'm like, I don't want to come on here and have to just deal with negativity. We got so much positive stuff going on. Breaking the Chains, one of their organizations is like doing this big time farming challenges where they're competing for, recognition, and they're getting it. They're winning. They're doing great. We want to talk about that. We want to talk about Felicia and these bomb farms she's building over here. We do not want to keep coming on here debunking goofball stuff before we even get to the good part. We got this major hemp and cannabis conference coming up. Every expert that is African in this world, not all of them, but all the ones you want to see as far as hemp and cannabis is concerned, will be in Ghana in just a few weeks. You really want to talk about debunking foolishness on YouTube when we are sitting at the ground and the foundation of a multi-billion-dollar new industry? God, so sometimes we just, like Jasmine said, we focus on all the wrong things, man. Okay, number 6. Yeah, because we used to feeling bad. We used to feeling bad, Mama Makita. That's a whole thing. Like, honestly, for as far as our Repat consultancy is concerned, we're bringing a psychologist on board. I'm not dealing with nobody else. I am not a professional psychologist, but I know trouble when I see it. And I know what I dealt with in my own mind as far as this journey. That's why it took me so long. I didn't just start this journey. This has been almost a 20-year process for me. And it took a long time because I had a lot of mess to work through in my own life, in my own mind. Okay, that's why I'm not one of them, come to Africa, but everybody move to Africa. I ain't saying that at all. You not hear me saying that. Because no, I'm not doing that. Because we got some challenges mentally. And it's another elephant in the room. Man, how many elephants can fit in one room, people? Let's go. Okay. The other thing that I keep hearing, and it's low-key insulting, for somebody that's been creating documentaries and putting information out for on the record for 15 freaking years. Yeah, psychologists, psychotherapists, psychiatrists, we need everybody on deck. And I personally don't even want to deal with you until you deal with them. Then when you get over here, you got to see the spiritualist and the herbalist, the good doctor. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, before I ain't about to go to my friends Steve's on or whatever, but I'm going in a little deeper because people are wasting my time and taking my kindness, for granted. And I resent it. And that's not a good use of my time and my life energy. You know what I'm saying? Number 6 thing that I keep hearing that I'm tired of, we're not being truthful. All the YouTubers are lying. That's what I heard somebody say particularly. How? We live here. You know what I'm saying? This is my house. In fact, this is my house. Where's the lie? All right. You you got to know the difference between living in a place and visiting a place. You visiting, if you coming here temporarily, you leaving, you got a to-go ticket, whatever, to-go ticket. You know what I'm saying? You know, you leaving, you're visiting, okay? You know, you're on a vacation. That's a whole different vibe, okay? So, do you really want to take your advice from a visitor, somebody who's been around for 2 weeks or a month, that think they're going to sum up this whole country or this whole region or this whole continent in 2 weeks' time? Come on, you need to check yourself if you're listening to this mess. Yeah, yeah. How are we all lying? Okay. So okay, why? Because I didn't tell you I had problems with a plumber when I was building my house. I mean, come on. Who have built in America or anywhere else that didn't have a problem with a contractor? I know people who went through 5 contractors in the US. Stop acting like this is okay. You know what? I'll have grace because I'm from Chicago. And what that means for me is that the game running is continual and I'm used to it. So if you come from a small town or a smaller city, then okay, maybe you come to a cry and you feel like people be running circles around you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. SJT would say sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm from a big city. The game continues. You know what I'm saying? It is big city everywhere. It's not just big city Accra. I've seen people online talking about, oh, there's a spirit of stealing and a spirit of taking in Ghana. That is a damn lie. Every single one of us that left our wallet somewhere is been returned whole. Runako Rashidi told a story about leaving his camera equipment in a hotel in Nigeria. Came back the next day, all his equipment was right where he left it. And he told us, can't nobody talk about Nigeria as some type of scam capital to him because it's nowhere else in the world that he know of that he could have came back and found his equipment. And you know what? I took that same sentiment and I applied it across the board to all African people. I'm not about to sit here and start accusing an entire country, city, or group of people of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you only been to the tourist area in Accra. Stop it with that foolishness. And if you listening to that, you have lost your mind. And I'm just kindly suggesting you put an APB out on it and start looking for it. Okay. Yeah, you visiting Africa, but you saying I'm lying because I didn't tell you I had a problem with a plumber. You won't need a plumber because you're visiting. Stop it with the jokes. Okay, so are you building a house here? I mean, damn, not all conversations are meant to be had on social media either. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that we need to talk about, we just cannot talk about online. That's why you make friends and you get the backstory. If you make friends where you are with people who are where you're looking to travel to or repatriate to, then you can get some of that backstory. You're not going to get everything off YouTube or on any social media. We just cannot do that. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And catch me offline if we could talk about some of those. Read one of my books where I do talk about why we can't talk about everything online. Um, you also pay a consultant if you really want to streamline your process and make it, you know, what you're used to in America. Do what everybody in America does when they want to streamline their process. They got people that organize their whole schedule, their life, everything. You think they don't pay them? So you want somebody to rearrange your whole family and move you from one part of the world to the other hemisphere, but you don't think it's worth no money. Stop it. Oh, look, Mama Bikini said that her cousin was building a house in South Florida. She didn't find out until the house was nearly done and the rains came that the house, Lord have mercy, was built on the foundation. Wow. Wow. Man, Felicia, cameras would have been gone. People then broke in my car and my house to steal my equipment. They see you moving around. People see you a photographer. Every photographer been robbed in America. Then tell me who haven't lost equipment. If you know a photographer who haven't been robbed of some of their equipment, if not all. One time I got robbed of 3 cameras. I said I wasn't even gonna bother to buy another camera no more. My next camera, somebody gave it to me, and that's what made me pick it back up again. Thank God they did that. My cousin did that. Yeah. So yeah, back to number two, eating off tourism again. You want to streamline your process? Pay a consultant. And yes, I'll take payments, and we start at 3,000 US dollars. Um, you're not playing around. We're not wasting our time over here. We have skin in the game. This, and I know people have lost their lives over less than trying to live and move and build in Africa. So don't waste our time. I'm not joking at all. Okay, number seven, China taking over. If I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I could have took over. You know what I'm saying? Um, Drop money in the market, and the person who saw it ran me down. Man, it have happened to me. It have happened to me. More than once, more than twice, where you drop money and somebody look for you. I had left my wallet in a taxi one time. My man skip traced me, and those of us who have a bill collecting background, or PI background, we know what that is. My man found me, and everything was just in that wallet, just where I left it. Can't tell me nothing. That can happen in Chicago too, because we, the quiet is kept. We are not savages. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have fell into the vibe of savagery, but by and large, we are nowhere near that. Uh, China is taking over Africa, so you might as well stay in the UK, or you might as well stay in America. That I hear a lot. Step in with the jokes. Even heard one person say that the Lebanese are weaving kente now. Oh my God. All lies. Just straight misinformation. Um, like I said, come look around, see who's doing the work over here. China got a huge dam built right now. They chief engineers and Nigerian sister. Don't play with me, because I actually wouldn't even be talking if I didn't know what I'm talking about. Um, and I want to take it back to, Chicago, LA, the Bronx, Atlanta, Houston. And I want everybody to take a gander through their minds, mentally walk through your neighborhood. How many businesses there do you shop at on a daily or weekly basis that are owned by Africans or African people where you live? I'll wait. How dare you come over to Africa where everything that's been built here has been built by an African, and try to tell them that somebody else is taking over, as if you're doing something better with the resources and materials and the money that you have in your pocket, in your community where you were born and raised. We don't have a leg to stand on. That high horse is it should be laying on its side. It can't stand on them skinny ass legs. Not with that BS. It cannot do it. We don't have a leg to stand on. The whole point of the situation is we're all being bombarded by the enemy. In a war, you have a right flank, a left flank, you know what I'm saying, rear guard, you have a front line, and you have behind enemy lines. You have to know where you are. And that tells you, what your role is and what you need to do. But we're not letting our position dictate our roles. We want to let our imagination and our ego dictate our roles. And sometimes, as my dad would say, our Paul Bunyan mouth overloads our Mickey Mouse ass. And we cannot do or stand for the things that we're actually saying. You don't have a leg to stand on. The whole point of the situation is that we all need all hands on deck wherever we are, to build and safeguard the the resources in our communities. Period. This is not rocket science, okay? I'm a simple, very simple woman. All right. This is not no stuff. Some of my friends can say this in a different way, and you have to read it 18 times to understand what they said, because they on that PhD track. You know what I mean? They've been reading 6 million books written by white folks, and you can't hardly understand what they even saying. I'm making this as plain can be. China is not taking over Africa, but if we don't get our behinds in line, they surely will make a play for it. And they're showing their cards. So the question is, what do you want to do to counter the moves that these imperialist nations are making against us wherever we are? Because they're not just taking over in Africa. They want to run you in Chicago too. They want to run you in Brooklyn too. So yeah, I just, I can't call it. We got a lot of nerve, you know. Number 8 is different types of Pan-Africanists. Okay, some of them call themselves capitalists. I'm here to tell you, the words African and capitalism is an oxymoron. The word black capitalist, that don't go together in no kind of way. The only part of capital that we represent is the capital itself. They're eating us. And they've been eating us for hundreds of years. They've been living off us, living off our blood, literally and figuratively. We are the capital in capitalism. There's no way we're going anywhere with that as a mindset. You come over here with that mindset, you should hear what the people here say. Oh, that person is a capitalist. Even in Ghana, where everybody claims they don't know anything and they ain't been taught nothing. That's another myth. That's probably number 10. I mean, come on. You know, our relationship to capital and capitalism have not changed in 500 years. And it's not going to change. It's like 7 billion people and 7 billionaires are African, and all of a sudden, what, we gave up hope for the whole world and the nation and the people because 7 people got rich? Stop it. We're not capitalists. we're food for the vultures right now, as Kwame Ture said, and we're still leaving our dead to the vultures. Get your head out your ass, man. Okay, let's see. Oh, door kicked in Atlanta. Yeah, that's classic America. I want to add on the black on black crime situation because that's kind of not relevant for what's happening on the YouTube thing. I'm gonna just insert that little statement right there. There is no black on black crime. If there was, everybody in Africa would be killing everybody in Africa, kind of like on the south side of Chicago. No, America is violent. Every community there is more violent than it is wherever they came from. America is violent, formed in violence, shaped in violence. Black on black crime is something that doesn't exist. Crime exists. Violence exists in America. It was based on violence. It was made from violence. That's all it knows. Even all its developments come from violence. The wartime medicine. Yes, they can put you back together if you get shot or crushed in a car accident because they practice in war. That's your benefit. As JT would say, sorry. So yeah, no, none of that black this, black that. Stop all that foolishness, man. Stop it. Number 9. Had This is something that gets under my skin. They say more women come at repats, and we chasing men over here. I'm gonna tell you, number 1, I don't care how or what reason you come to Africa. I leave it to the gods, the ancestors, and everybody to lead you on your right path if you put your feet on the land. That's number 1 for me. I don't really care. I'm not into making those kind of rules. Love is in Africa though, and it's good. Those of us that's married to continental borns and we from other intra-African relationships, I support them 100%. We need them. I love them. They work for me. You know what I'm saying? I got I got the family to show for it. I don't just talk about Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? I live it theoretically, physically, figuratively, literally. I live it. Yeah. Chasing men. Yeah. Okay. How about you read a book and then you chase, you know what I'm saying, your ancestors and put yourself in a position that they are calling you to be in. Because right now, we're not making no sense. So that was my big list um, of just foolishness, just to clear up that part. I want to just before I pop off of here, I want to come back to the psychological piece. This cannot be overstated, you know. And I found myself talking about it. People treat me like I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm fully aware of what I'm saying. We got issues. And it's not to say that Africa is perfect and we got to make ourselves perfect to come here. No, you don't. I just said come as you are, you know what I'm saying, and do the best you can. But as far as my time and energy, it has to be spent working on people who are aware that they're going through a cultural adjustment, acclimation. And if you're going to be in denial about that, then man, you're going to drive your people crazy. Number one, ask me how I know. People just because it's natural doesn't mean there's not a learning curve. Okay. So don't come over here with the expectation that, you know, especially if you're coming with the intent to stay. You come over here with the intent to stay, you get to the airport, you stay here for a week, and you think to yourself, well, hell, my blood pressure is down, I got a tan, I'm looking a little better, I'm feeling less stressful, and you think that's all it is to it. Hey, that's only the beginning. And those benefits are not going to be the only benefits that you need to sustain you on this journey. So you're going to have to do some deep, you know, psychological diving in order to adjust yourself to coming back home after 2, 3, 4, 500 years. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if you leave your family house for 30 years and come back, it's like, whoa, you come back, everybody talking at the same time. If they like my family, and you know, it's loud and it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be different. It's gonna be an adjustment. And if you think that's not gonna require support, especially lying to yourself. Guys, please, you know, stop doing us. You know, for a long time, the only information about Africa we had was the few books that white folks wrote, the fewer than that books that we wrote, and CNN, BBC, and broadcasting networks like them, which all had um, a very vested interest in portraying Africa and Africans in the worst light possible, all while they were going behind that, robbing Africa blind. Okay. So this has been going on. This disinformation and misinformation has been going on a long time. Now we have come to YouTube and to all these other various types of media to share information that we got firsthand. Make it count. Make it count. It's a powerful medium if we use it like a powerful medium, you know. And as for me, any tool in my hand can be shaped in the form of a weapon against my enemies. And I suggest you look for YouTubers and repats who have that similar attitude. They don't have to 100% agree with me and my definition of Pan-Africanism, but at the very least, you know, they're not harping on foolishness and BS that has nothing to do with nothing. You should know the difference. 10 years married, 4 children, and I can't read the rest. Wouldn't change it. I can't bring it up. I want to bring it all the way out and let everybody see the comment. I feel the same way. You know, I was married to my late husband for 11 years. Happily married, I must say. Beautiful children. And I always felt like he gave us a path to come back home. I felt like that even before I married him. I knew when I met him, I was like, oh, this brother can't get me. And I remember at Kwanzaa, that first year we met, I told everybody that, oh, he can't get me. But when he passed away, it was very, very difficult. And I thank God for love in Africa, because another brother just popped up like a light and shown us the way along the path, and got us here. You know, so I don't, as much as I've been in Pan-African organizations pretty much all my life, it was ultimately love family and children that brought me home. So anybody talking smack about it, hey, come on with it. I suggest you come on my page and say something like, I'm living a fantasy escapism. I'm gonna show you some Inglewood style, because I know how to talk about somebody. My mama taught me that, and I try not to go there, but that's when I get really take my problems out on somebody. I got a masochist on my page right now. I've been cursing them out, calling them all kinds of names for 2 days. Every time I'm in a bad mood, or anything, I want to get something off my chest, I go and check his comments and then talk about him again. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want, I got a little bit of something like that for you too. You know what I'm saying? Come on my page talking about that escapist fantasy BS, and I'm only in Africa because of you know the good stuff. As if the good stuff ain't worth it in and of itself. Y'all just jealous, the brothers in America ain't. But you don't have to be jealous. What you should do is educate yourself about some of the various cultures in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And stand on your strength as an African man. It don't matter where you at. You ain't gotta be jealous of nobody. So that's it for me. You guys have anything else? Yeah, that's the one that gets under my skin. You know, these unbalanced reports, and saying that like everybody that's selling information dealing with repatriation is man, somebody I told y'all somebody called me a vulture. I was like, bro, I've been called a lot of things. A vulture is pretty much one of the worst things I've ever been called. You know what I'm saying? Uh that's a lot, especially as no one's feeding my family or, putting a roof over my head. I do this as a service because it's needed. I enjoy working with people, and I have felt like I wanted to show that same light to people along the pathway. But again, I can't show you the light without no damn electricity. But somebody got to pay the bill. So you give some and you get some. You give and take. That's not really rocket science. It's not that complicated. It really is not. I'm just tired of the foolishness, guys. So my thing is, I'll put the books out there. I'll put this video out there. When you see me, I want to be talking about some business and the fun stuff that we have going on and the joy and the beauty of our lives here. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna go to sleep with a smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? Next to a beautiful chocolate African man. And when I wake up to do my work, I'm gonna work with people who respect me for the level of skill and the knowledge and the passion that I bring. You see what I'm saying? I want the same for all my people. Okay. um no less, and it's possible. Wait, what'd you say, Felicia? The lady that went off because I brought the electricity. Oh yeah, man, what kind of mental illness was that? She went off on the whole group, man. And then how did the love and the dick come up in the conversation? How did that come up? You know what I'm saying? She went all into that. I was like, please, somebody, please block her before she says another word. This is vulgar, and that's the perfect example, Felicia. About 2 years ago, she was in my inbox. I might still be able to pull it up. That same lady was in my inbox talking about, can I pick her up from the airport? Kid you not. Kid you not. And I could tell something was something. I was trying everything I could to get out of committing to that. Like, nah, lady, I can't do that. She like, I don't want to work with anybody else, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I ain't even into it like that. I don't run tours like that. You know what I'm saying? No, yes, the same lady. I said, how did she go from, I'm coming to Ghana in 2 months to, y'all stupid for going over there building anything. Wow, that was a lot. What changed? Did it have something to do with the D? Maybe things didn't go well for her. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But if she would have asked me, I would have advised her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, yeah, that's a little backstory on that one. Oh, the machetes. Oh, go get chopped up with the machetes. Yeah, that's my other favorite. I'm tired of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for JT. Because my brother was still talking about, do y'all have electricity? I know y'all ain't got no toilets and ooh. And I'm like, oh, we talk about this all the time. I mean, ooh, my own brother. But hey, sometimes people don't want to believe. They want to think the worst of Africa. And that's another thing you got to look out for. If that's their attitude, what kind of information they gonna bring you? You get off the plane like, I ain't gonna lie, the airport is nice. Why you got to start off by saying I ain't gonna lie? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you really coming for? What's your real goal here? You know what I'm saying? Um, maybe it was a guy. Yeah, clearly it was a challenge somewhere because she went from night to day and was real hostile about the whole situation to the rest of us who were still enjoying our good stuff. Uh, mm-mm, mm-mm. But yeah, I mean, love makes the transition better. You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna come over here single and remain single unless you absolutely insist on it. And that be your choice, just like it's your choice anywhere else. You can stay single. You don't have to have that. Plenty of people over here single and enjoying their stay here. So that's not really that's not the end all. Does it? It's like the sugar in my lemonade, though. But that's for me. You know what I mean? And what's for me might not be for you. Um, so yeah, the next time I come on, I want to come on and talk about some of the huge developments we have going. Um, I want to, me and Felicia been on already. I've been on Breaking the Chains with Mama Bakita already. Um, but then I could get my Bakita on my channel. That would be cool, and interview her. And then I can bring Felicia back to talk more about the farms. Then hopefully I could get somebody from the hemp conference to come on and talk about that besides me, um, live on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday is my good day for live. So just let me know anytime we can do it. Yeah, it's at your convenience. You guys know my schedule is pretty flexible. The only thing I'm doing right now, I'm really focused on the conference or whatever. Um, just doing stuff around this house. That's about it. I'm one thing at a time for me. I'm hoping to roll out our internet radio station by January. We'll see, but I ain't even going into it until after this conference. So yeah, I want us to come on and talk about all the great developments because people do send us money and we do know how to use it and we have things to show for it. So yes, let's talk about it. There's people over here making money and making moves. Be one of them. Deal with the people who are doing that and ignore some of this other foolishness. Otherwise, we're gonna keep getting what we getting, and even worse. Ooh, we didn't learn some bad habits. Ooh. Um. So yes, ladies, let's get on our P's and Q's on the schedule, and then let's take it from there. I appreciate you guys so much for joining me, and um, I'll try to put some stuff in the that box under the video. So if anybody want to click on the link and check out a book or whatever y'all want to do, that would be cool. And make sure you like my video. All right, thanks guys.